Okay guys, I am so excited because we're doing a project I've wanted to do since we moved in, and it's make a little library. Okay, so in our old house we had one and it was so cute. And I loved putting books out there. I loved seeing the neighbor kids stop there on their bikes on the way home from school. I loved the little notes people would leave us. I got to know like a lady who worked at the library and would like buy books and put it in there for us. It was great. It's a great thing to do if you want to build a sense of community and neighborhood where you live. And we don't know a ton of people here, so that's going to be amazing. And two, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, so like anything you can do to give back and make your neighborhood a better place, I think is so worth it right now. My whole goal was to spend less than $100 on this project, and it was around there. So we're starting to build it today. We're cutting the wood. And like I really just can't wait to get it out front and fill it with books and really enjoy it. So let's get started. First things first, safety first. I put on my safety goggles and we started cutting. So this whole project is mostly made by a plywood sheet, and we did this to kind of stick on a budget. So we cut it on the table saw, and this is the side of the little library we're cutting out, and here is the front and the back. The front and the back has a triangle top for the roof, so it looks like a cute little classic house, and you just use a circular saw for this. It's not too tricky. And then for the base, we just used a square piece of wood and attached it to 2x4s, and I will have plans on my blog so that you can cut it exactly the sizes we did, because it's really not that tricky. So just use a drill and screw on the sides, and then it's time to put on the front, and you can kind of see that cute shape of the roof. And then we just used multiple screws so that it was nice and tight. Now we started constructing the front of our door, and we cut it on a 45-degree angle, and then we used screws to attach it to each other. And this was pre-treated lumber, so it should do pretty good outside. At least that's what we're hoping. And you can see how we're going to layer a piece of plexiglass. Okay, so the front of the house needs an opening so you have a place to put the books. And so to do that, we used a big drill bit, and then our jigsaw could go into it, and we just cut out the big opening with the jigsaw. There you can see it, and how cute it's going to fit right on front. And then, so since that hadn't been attached yet, we're also going to use our drill here and just screw it right on, just like we did everything else. And then as we went, we kind of sanded so it was nice and soft and smooth. And then for the top, we wanted to have some 2x4s so that we had a way to attach on the roof. And we added a shelf on the inside as well, so we had more storage space. Okay, outside we went and we started digging the hole for the post. So this is where the little library is going to live, on the outside of our house. And we attached stakes so that we could make sure the post was level. And then we added our concrete and the water, and you can look on the side of the concrete bottle or bag to see how much to add. It was super easy. Then inside I headed, and it was time to do finish work. So the side of the little library was made of plywood, so I needed to kind of finish that off so you couldn't see all the edges. And for all the screw holes, I just did wood filler, let that dry, and sanded it nice and smooth. And everything got a nice coat of pink paint, including the roof. These are the trim pieces that's going to go over the plexiglass on the cabinet door, and so I need to prime them. Those were made of kind of like a PVC plastic, so paint wouldn't stick to it. But the door paint definitely stuck really well, so I painted that pink as well. And here I am painting the trim. You couldn't see it for a second, sorry about that. And then I decided painting the bottom of the little library was smartest to do while I was inside, so I did that. We attached the roof, and then I gave that another paint job. I really tried to paint thoroughly. I gave everything 3 coats so that it would do as well as possible in outside. So here I am assembling the front of the door. I used construction adhesive, and then I just put the plexiglass right on top of that. And since you could see the glue, you kind of need these little pieces of trim to make it look nice and finished. So again, I used construction adhesive, put a small bead on there, and then stuck it right to the front. I had a wet paper towel ready in case there was like any gaps, and I let that dry overnight. And then I caulked all the edges to give it a seamless look. Next, it was time to roof our little library, and we just used shingles we found at our house and roofing nails. So, pretty straightforward. And then to finish the door, we added on hinges. And then, a really important thing you need to do with your little library is have a way for it to stay closed. So, we like to do a magnet, and it actually didn't end up working here. So, we moved it to the bottom, but what we didn't do on our first little library was this. And then during one night there was a windstorm and the door totally broke off, the glass shattered, it was dangerous. So make sure you have a way to keep that closed. Okay, outside we went to our post and it was time to cut this down to size. We went with a 36-inch high post and we sawed that off and then gave it a good coat of paint. And again, we did a bunch of coats of paint on the post, and then I did a clear coat on the little library because I really wanted to do well. So we brought the little library outside, put it on top of the post, and then we just used a few screws and it is on there really well. So finally, time to add books and then do the little finishing touches. Look how fun it is. We don't have a ton right now, but you got to start somewhere, right? So got those inside, and then this is called a center onlay, and it's like $5. It was so affordable, and I stuck it to the house with construction adhesive, and then we finished it off with a screw to keep it on there, and that's it. We're done. Okay, so we're done with the little library. I'm so excited with how it turned out. I actually have a brass plaque on the way. It says, "Free Little Library, share a book, give a book." And you guys, if you decide to make this, you can register your library, and I think it's like 25 bucks, and they'll send you your own plaque with like a registration number. It's really fun. I love this little guy. I hope our neighbors like it as well. If you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe. Thank you.